Hello, I'm Gary Schotten, and I truly enjoy being with you on these videos. And on this particular video, I'm going to talk a little more about my Christian faith. So if that should be offensive to you, I would just suggest you stop now and go to the next video, because we're not trying to be obnoxious in that area. But if it does interest you, I would like you to hear it. And you'll see the picture has a leader of the nation of North Korea. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly, but Kim Jong-un. And this leader is fairly known around the world. It's North Korea. And a news report clearly outlined and documented what happened with his defense minister, and how his defense minister was executed by this prime minister, the leader of the country, simply because he fell asleep in a meeting. Wow, that's a pretty stiff penalty. You fall asleep, you get killed. Well, it brings to mind, from my point of view, are we as Christians really asleep when it comes to the reality of the opportunities we have to let our light shine before men and women and people and our customers and our employees? Are we going to be judged by God and say, you know, you were asleep. You had so many opportunities and you didn't take them. I let this opportunity come your way and you didn't take it. I think some people play it too safe. I think some people are too concerned about what other people might think of them. I think some people are afraid, or maybe haven't been trained. I'm not lifting myself up as some idol or icon or element of perfection. Absolutely not. But this video is intended to challenge you to not be asleep. There's a verse in the Bible, I'd have to look it up and give you the correct reference, but I want to know that when I come to the end of times, and I know my salvation is not based on my works, but my rewards and what I've done will be judged. And I want those words that come from my good Lord to say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant. That I've called you to do, you have accomplished." Again, it's not to enter heaven, but for the rewards and for the honor and the fulfillment that must come from not being asleep in a time that we can have such an impact. So I've just got to look at it and say, God's plans first for my eternity. I watch TV, I watch clean TV, I use my computer. I'm not just every minute of the day praying and reading the Bible. That's not realistic for me, for sure, because I have life to live, but I live my life openly. My neighbors know that I'm a Christian. I have a Christian plaque by the front door. If anybody knocks on our front door, they know that it says basically that for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That's an indicator. When I'm on this company, so I'm at a machine shop, our general life can be a life that lived openly, that honors God, and that's good. But sometimes we kind of back off of that if we're not careful when we get to the workplace, to the marketplace. And I believe that as owner of this company, I get a chance to set the tone and set the culture. No, we don't have a long Bible study every day, and we don't require that before you can work here. We set a tone of godliness. And we pick our times and I'm encouraging you to pick what works well for you, to pick times to make a positive influence so that you're not caught with a feeling that you were asleep and you didn't do what you could to impact people's lives. Here's some of the things we've done. You might do something different. A lot of our people, we recognize, know how much money, no matter how much money they make, they spend it all. So there's a series by a man named Dave Ramsey. He's worldwide, and he helps people get out of debt. He helps people with personal household funding and financing and budgeting. We paid for a course for 20 of our people that would choose to do that and commit to finish the course. We paid for the course and encouraged them and watched them take that course because we want them to be successful. That's part of our light shining. We have a ministry that comes into our business on a regular basis. It's in the United States and in some parts of the world. That's called Marketplace Chaplains. We pay for that. That's a way for someone that's neutral that comes in while our workers are working or making friends. They make friends with them and they ask them questions. Hey, how's things with the family? How's things with the kids? How's things with your health? You can share. They share it openly to these professionals, but they're not showing it openly to me because it's kind of out of line. It's none of my business, some of that. We want to give help. I pray at the start of our meetings. I just make it very well known. I said, listen, you're working at a Christian company. We're not forcing or pressing our Christian faith on you, but you need to know that this is something that we believe in, and I'm going to pray because I know I'm not totally in charge. God's in charge, and He's in control of the wisdom He gives me. And whether they're Christians or not in my company, they know where I stand. It's a light to them. Yet I don't cram it down their throat. That's not going to be effective. I show concern. I have clean environment. I have a regular paycheck. I'm fair with what I do. I pay my bills on time. Nobody in a company wants to hear that their company's about to go broke and not paying their bills, not paying their vendors. We don't have people calling us asking, would you pay this bill? Please pay me. I pay my bills. Occasionally there'll be a call because there's an invoice that was wrong, paperwork wasn't right. Sure. Then we pay it. We always pay it right then. Get it out. We don't wait. We don't mess with money. God wants us to be a light. We're going to be held accountable to God's what God entrusted us with. And so I just say, don't fall asleep with the opportunities you have, and I will try not to fall asleep with my opportunities. Another way of saying the same thing, take vigor, vim, vitality, energy, hit it head on, and be a light unto the world for the love of God. I ask you to consider sharing this with someone other than yourself if you would, and if you could give us constructive feedback, we'd appreciate it. Thank you very much.